God, thank you for having me. Wow. About Your Art Studio Edition.
Yeah, welcome to Golden Hand Studios. Thank you so much for coming. Would you like a tour?
I would love a tour.
Awesome.
Thank
Well,
you.
this is my studio. This is where I work. My name is Jeneba. Koroma. I'm a jewelry artist. I'm an artist, overall artist, but now I make jewelry mostly, and an arts educator and a teacher. So this is where I work and teach. So I'm gonna kind of show you around a little bit. So welcome. So when you first walk in, this is our little gallery that we have over here. So these are a few of some of my pieces, some of my rings that I love to make. I love working with sterling silver and different gemstones. This one's actually an interpretation of a little spider.
Ooh.
8 legs. So I love working with stones, making different things. These are a few of my pieces, so you can check them out when you first walk in.
I'm just gonna give them their shine. I love your earrings.
Earring actions.
Yes.
And then some necklaces up at the top, you know, statement necklaces. So yeah, with some of my pieces that I work with. So this was a collection I made with a Tuareg leather. So there are actually some pieces from Mali. So I interpreted some stories and made some earrings out of leather. These are actually some of my favorite ones.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, I want to see those closer.
So these ones are some of my favorite guys.
Oh my gosh, those are beautiful.
Peridot action.
Yes, come on, Peridot, for all of our August, all the August babies.
Yeah. So I'm always working with different materials, different series of things.
Cool.
Yeah.
So tell the people kind of where you're from a little bit.
I'm from Sierra Leone, West Africa. My parents are both Sierra Leoneans. I was born in Michigan, but I've lived in Chicago for a long time. I lived a little bit of everywhere, but I love Chicago. Chicago is definitely home now. Okay, so this is the rest of the studio. So, you know, little sink area where we do some lapidary a little bit over here. We're actually
I didn't know you did
reorganizing.
some lapidary.
We're reorganizing. I do a little bit. I'll cut some cabochons. I don't always want to do it. I like to let the lapidary people really do it. But
It's a science and a skill all in its own.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
But I love just to try to cut some different things, or if I have some nice rough, I definitely will. Tumbling, you know, chemicals, all those things. This is where most of the magic happens. I'm always sitting right here working soldering away. I like to fabricate a lot, so this is my little soldering area. Little kiln right here for sometimes doing a little enameling. So mostly I'm sitting here most of the time.
Okay.
So this is me and my students. This is the main area where all my students usually sit when I'm hosting workshops and or classes. So I do a lot of workshops.
I must say, these chairs are really comfortable.
Thanks. We're sitting down for a long time.
Yeah.
So we want to make sure everybody's butts are comfy.
That's right. And it's the little things like that that really matter. Like it all comes together. Because who wants to, like, I remember being in classes in school and having those hard chairs, and it's like, I can't wait to get out of this class. And you would be thinking about that the whole time. You're not learning anything.
Yeah,
so
really making, you know, you're sitting for so long, so you want to make it as comfortable as possible. Like, your seats are probably just as important as, like, you know, your whole environment, I think, is important when you're creating. So I like to be as comfortable as possible.
cool.
So yeah, so this is where we usually sit. We usually have about 4 to 6 students.
And these are some of your students right here,
Yeah,
huh?
so those are some the photos of some of the people who come through to take class with me. So I call it my wall of fame.
Love
so I'm
it.
going to be adding a lot more, but I love to share people's processes, and just like, you know, the look of accomplishment when you made your first piece and you polished it and all those things. Like, I still remember the first pieces that I made, and like, you know, it's just a special, you know, like I made this with my own two hands and I polished it and I can wear it out into the world. So yeah, definitely like to acknowledge all of those people. So yeah, so a lot of times we're doing beginner workshops, or I teach also intermediate and some advanced classes. So if you're ever in Chicago, want to take a class or try something new, you can check us out. Yeah, polishing area, some other areas where we have our little rolling mill and other tools. And then we have a few benches over here. So if you want to do some like flex shafting, some finishing, or some wax work, we usually do that over here.
So if y'all have never seen what a jeweler's bench looks like, this is a real deal jeweler's bench.
Yeah, that looks like it's being worked on and with.
Yes, and that's what it's there for.
Yeah, cool. So this is where my main bench, so I'm usually sitting right here, and then this is where I do some admin work, just to do my other things, keep myself organized. I like to have my little wall with my friends and my nephews, like people that I care about.
Love that.
So yeah,
look, the true meaning of love. Yeah, and I love that you have this big calendar.
Oh yeah, very helpful.
So important.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
staying organized is always a process, but you know, try to work on it to get better. This is one of my friends. Actually, one of my studio neighbors made this. Her name is Raspy Rivera. I love art and artists, so that's a piece that I got from her. So I'm always trying to add more things. So yeah, welcome. Awesome. Thanks for coming and hanging out with me today.
Yes. So we're here on another episode of About Your Art podcast, but this time it's a little different because this is the studio edition. Woo, 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 woo. Turn up, turn up, turn up, turn up. About Your Art is growing and expanding, and it makes me want to dance.
Get into it. I love that you're doing this.
I know.
Yeah. Right? I'm so honored that you came to my studio.
I don't know who told me to do this. This is a running joke that I have, because it's like, who tells me to do this? Like, who told me? I guess I told me.
The universe told you.
Yeah. Oh, that's crazy. Sorry, I just kind of got lost in my thoughts there. But yeah, no. So yeah, this is About Your Art podcast, studio edition, with my very good friend and my fellow artiste sister.
Yeah,
we met at art shows. And sorry, you said, what did you say?
No, you were already going there. I was like, you should tell them the story about how we met anyway.
Yes, okay. So we'll be right back, and I'll tell you how we met. So,
yes. Perfect. You're like a mermaid.
Come on. What is her name?
The Little Mermaid.
Halle Bailey. I'm coming for the next mermaid spot. Yes. All right. So we said we were going to talk about how we met.
Yeah.
So imagine this: we're at an art show, and I see something that sparks my curiosity, and I'm like, oh, I have a tattoo with that same like symbol on. And then anyways,
but also it was the
packing up too, or setting up.
First day, setting up. The first day, it was a Friday or Saturday morning, really early, and so we're all like, you know, putting our tents up, and like, you know, setting up is always so stressful, like, you know, just setting up. So I'm just like, okay, I gotta get my tent. I gotta move my car. I gotta like make sure nobody steals my jewelry as I'm setting up.
Exactly. That's a big thing.
Yeah.
We don't talk about that enough.
And then I just remember hearing this little voice like, hey, do you need some help? And then you came over and you helped me like put up my tent, I think, actually, that day, because I was by myself. And yeah, we've been friends ever since.
And like I said, and then I think once we all got set up and I walked by your booth once everything was out, and then I seen the Gianni earrings, and I was like, I have that tattoo right on the back of my neck. And yep, fast friends. We were fast friends from the beginning. So Jeneba, tell me, how did you get into jewelry making? Was there a spark moment earlier when we were doing the tour, or later, depending on where I put that in the editing? This is, I don't know. But We talked about you are an overall artist that just so happened to now you're doing jewelry. So what was the spark?
I actually took a jewelry class like unexpectedly in grad school. So I was in graduate school for painting. I have been drawing and painting since I was a kid. Like, I was growing up, like, always had my head like down in my little notepads, like sketching and painting. I love painting. That was like what I thought I was going to be doing. And then I went to school for computer animation in undergrad because my dad said, well, he suggested very strongly that I should do something with computers because he didn't want me to
suggest strongly. Yeah. That's like a dad thing.
Yeah, he was like, you need to get into computers so you're not like a starving artist, which actually worked out really great because I definitely use a lot of those things now just in my business. So I think the more you know, the better, regardless. So
too much education is never a bad thing.
You can always are going to use it at some point. So the more you know, the better. So so I went to school for animation and I was working, doing like post-production kind of things for my first few jobs.
Just move it around a little bit. There. Post-production for your first few jobs.
Yeah, and it was fun for a little while, but then I just didn't really like sitting in the editing bay with like kind of more corporate people who were not really creative. It was kind of more like, everything had to be so like structured. So there wasn't really too much room for creativity in that aspect. So I wanted,
and therefore not much room for growth because I think creativity is where a lot of the growth happens, and a lot more corporations need to keep that in mind.
Yeah, gotta be open.
Yeah,
gotta be open to like things that come, and just thinking outside of what you normally think that things are supposed to look like. You gotta just kind of let that go sometimes.
Yeah.
So so I decided I wanted to go back to school for painting because I was like, okay, let me try this and see if what I originally wanted to do was going to work out. And so I was in there. It was a great program. It was at Eastern Illinois University. They have an awesome art program if you're able to go there. It's like in the middle of Illinois, like a little, maybe 2-3 hours from Chicago. But yeah, so we all got our own studios. So I was, kind of working in that vein, painting mostly, trying to figure that out. And then I took a jewelry making class, like just one class. And as soon as I picked up the saw, and I think I made my first project, which was a spider on a web. So it was kind of like a riveted piece. I wish I had it here. It's somewhere floating around. But I just loved it so much. I felt, that it was something I could see myself doing. I love like how expansive I felt it was. I could kind of make anything. So that's kind of how I got into it. And then after that, after I graduated, I just wanted to keep on making and making. So I started taking classes and apprenticing and things like that. So that's kind of how I fell into it.
Yes. It only takes one class, y'all.
Yeah. It's like catch the spark.
Yeah, no, that one spark, and it could start a whole fire. And look at where we are.
Yeah.
We're in the results.
Who would have thunk it?
Who would have thunk it? Just like, who would have thought I'd be doing a podcast? Like, I went to school for nursing, y'all. Like, what the heck?
Natural at it.
It's crazy.
You're good at talking to people and communicating.
Gemini and Virgo. So, side note, my birthday is June 11th, and her birthday is September 11th.
11 is a magic number, I think.
11 is our,
yeah.
That's our, like, Anyways. Okay, so what's something that most people don't know about you as an artist?
I would say a lot of people don't know that I was a painter, that I used to paint.
And I didn't know that.
Yeah. And that I've done so many different kinds of art, and that I've been teaching for as long as I've been teaching. So I've been teaching for almost like 20 years now, I would say, which is crazy.
That's crazy.
To say it, yeah. But I've taught,
we won't say how old Jeneba is, but let's just say she does not look her age. I'm just gonna put it out there. Like I was shocked when I found out. So the fact that she's been doing it 20 years is believable. But
thank my mom for the genes.
Exactly. Yes.
But yeah, so I've been teaching. I've taught.
What's that?
I think it's my microwave.
Oh, okay.
I've taught painting, I've taught drawing, I've taught animation, I've taught photography, videography.
You know, they say Virgos make very good teachers.
Yeah, that's what they say.
Like,
yeah,
for real.
And luckily, I
So
love
that's
teaching.
good.
I love teaching. I love meeting people. I love like sharing knowledge. I think it's so important. Like I love to see somebody like grasp something, like, you know, after like trying it and actually finding success in like whatever it is. So I like the process of like helping somebody through to like get to what they want to on the other side.
Awesome. And speaking of that, of teaching, and we were talking about how you use your studio to teach classes. So what role does your studio play in your life? It's obviously, you know, where you run your business, but it's also your classroom. So kind of expound on that.
So, you know, in deciding to open up my studio for people to come and take classes was very intentional. I wanted it to be a place where people could come and try something new, to try to explore something. The same way that I found jewelry making just through taking one class.
One class.
Yeah. I wanted people to just be able to come and, you know, make something simple and see if they even like it, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I think, you know, how, you know, everything's so technical. You're not really putting your hands in things and being able to solve problems by figuring things out. Like I think jewelry making in its essence is such a beautiful craft because it has like design, construction, you know, that problem solving, there's art,
a lot of math.
Yeah, a lot of math and science and chemistry.
Yes.
Like all those classes that you didn't like in high school where you're like, why am I doing this? Like you'll definitely will use it later on. So I just think the process of it is really beautiful. And I think that the more that people have the experience of putting their hands in things, there's a humanity to it and there's a connection. Like just the amount of people who come to my classes that they don't know each other, but they form friendships, you know, like people really get to know their family. Like a lot of people come here for date nights or come to spend time with their like besties.
I bet there's a lot of people that come to make their wedding bands and stuff.
Definitely a lot of that too. So it's very special. Yeah, it's very special to even be a part of that kind of moment.
Yeah.
So I wanted to open the studio up so it's a place where people feel comfortable to come and learn, and that, you know, they just can feel free to be themselves. So and also it helps me too because, you know, like working in a studio or being an artist can be very isolating.
Yes.
So by, you know, kind of opening yourself up and having people come, they can kind of get to know you a little bit more. You can get to know them and connect on something that, you know, like art and craft is such a way of like telling stories and connecting to people that I think is very special. So that's why I love having the studio and having people come like you here today.
Okay, what materials or techniques do you feel most connected to?
I love this question because I'm always curious about how people make things. But I really am a fabricator at heart. Like I love to just have like
from nothing to something.
Yeah, I love to start with a completely blank slate. Like I don't want to think about it too much. Like even drawing, like I'll draw maybe something a little bit, but I really want the materials to inform me. So like as I'm working with the material, I'll start to see things in there or have an idea for something. So I'm very much a hands-on kind of like, I need my hands in it. Like, you know, I know a lot of people like to do CAD or do things on the computer. And I think that is just as valid. Like, you know, I think every process, everybody has their process, but I'm very much like, I need to be just in the work, in the materials for it to tell me what to do. Like I had, like these are some pieces I had this leather I got from Mali. I actually met a Tuareg artist. He's also a jeweler, but he made these beautiful bags. I don't know if you know about Tuareg. The Tuareg people, they're from Mali. They usually wrap their heads. They're like nomadic people. They live in the desert. But they wear these beautiful like indigo blue like wraps, and they have like
that sounds really familiar.
Just look them up. Tuareg artists from Mali. They're amazing artists, but they make a lot of things out of goat leather because they, you know, they herd goats and things like that. So they hand dye these, and they paint them. So they make these amazing bags and pouches. So I traded him for some other things, and I got some of the leather, and I was just playing with it just to see what I wanted to do with them.
I love these.
And yeah, I just was like, I love, just using like materials from, like, my family's from West Africa, so I'm always trying to incorporate the materials and the stories from there into the pieces.
Love
so
that.
like these ones were kind of in that vein. These are some of my favorites.
I
So
love
yeah,
those.
definitely materials. I would say first, I'm always looking for interesting materials, interesting stones, materials. Like, I want something different that I'm like, okay, I don't know what I'm going to do with this yet, but that's what's exciting.
Now, I've talked to other jewelers where they would be like, they said that certain stones will talk to you for, like, they'll say, I want to be in a pendant or I want to be in a ring. Do you feel that way when you look at and work with different stones? Like, they're telling you kind of what they want to be?
Yeah, I think definitely I can have an intention for something.
Like, this is like really cool.
Thanks. Yeah, and I didn't even know what I wanted to do with these. They just started out actually with just the shape. Like, I was just kind of making shapes and putting things, layering. Like, I love detail-oriented things just in general. So I was just layering. I was like, what do you want to be? And then it just kind of came together. It actually had a few iterations before it became this. So I'm very much a go with the flow of the process. Like, I could be trying to make something and sometimes it won't even work out. It'll just fall apart. But then the part that stays together,
but you learn from the failures.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it'll be perfect for something else. And like, you don't know until you're in it. So for me, when I think about art, I think of it as an action.
Yes. Like, come on, it's a verb.
Yeah, exactly.
Love is a verb too.
Yeah. Art is a practice. Like, if you're not practicing, you're not going to get to the other side of the creativity. So like, you gotta just make the time. Even if I come here and I'm working and it doesn't come into anything, I'm like, it's not time wasted. Yeah. Like, I'm still
it's an investment.
Yeah.
Definitely. It's just an investment of time. And sometimes you don't see a return on your investment right away. Definitely. Until you just you wake up one day and you check Robinhood and you're like, dang, that stock went crazy. I'm glad I invested. Right. So do you ever revisit older work to evolve it with your current skill or vision? Kind of tying back to that investment of time and things kind of playing out.
That's a great question. As of late, I have been kind of looking at some older pieces just to think about, do I still want to go in that direction, or is there something that I can do to like make it better? Like, sometimes you'll make a design, like I'll say even these earrings that I love on.
Those, by the way. Those are a winner design.
Yeah, I love these. So I had to go back to it. I made a few versions, and some of them were heavy, some of them were like, the spring didn't work, the catch didn't work right. So like, I'll always go back and be like, okay, do I still like this design? Do I think that it's still in line with where I'm going as an artist? Or, is there something that I can do to make it better? Or am I just going to put it on the shelf and go to the next thing? Because, a lot of times, artists, you're already thinking about the next thing. So
yeah. Oh my gosh. That's how I am with crochet. I'm like, Takia, finish one thing before you go on to the next. But I'm like, I got to start the next thing while I have this idea so that I can bring it out of the mental realm into the physical realm and it can be real.
Even if you just started, I think sometimes too, just so you can have it out there. Because, the ideas, they will just leave you as quickly as they come if you don't act on it. And I think there is a certain little window of time you have before you're not even as excited about it.
Exactly. So, the excitement's gone.
Yeah, you got to use that excitement as your launch pad. And you got to be like, okay, I got to do it. Give yourself like we were talking about earlier, we got to give ourselves some deadlines to get things moving. So
for sure. So cool. So what inspired you to start offering classes out of your studio?
So I would say that when I found this place and decided that I wanted to move out of my home studio into another studio, so I wanted it to be a place where I could, have people come in and feel comfortable to come in and just kind of work with some metal, get to know me, work on some pieces, learn a little bit about the craft. I think as craftspeople, like, a lot of it can be secret, I think, a little bit, or
try to keep trade secrets.
Yeah. Or you don't want people to see like the messy behind the scenes, but that's what's really interesting to me. Like, I love going to a studio. I want to see like how do you set this up, or like
Yeah.
what are you using?
I'm hoping
like,
there are a lot more people like you out there, because
Yeah.
this is what we're doing.
Yeah.
This is About Your Art Studio Edition for the people like you that want to
Yeah.
see the behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And like us, because I want to too. That's why I'm here.
Yeah, that's where the magic happens. It's
Yes.
like, you can really learn about a lot about an artist, I think, by going to their space also,
Yes.
like seeing how they work, how do they think, how they're, are they a messy artist? Are they very organized?
Yeah.
Like, not to say like you have to be that,
Yeah,
but it's just,
it takes all kinds.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So just for inspiration.
Oh,
but yeah,
so
I wanted
cool.
it to be a place of like art and creativity and learning.
Cool. And so what surprised you the most about running your own art business?
Mm-hmm. I would say the amount of people that I meet and how far they come and work with me.
Yeah.
So I have people that come from like out of town, out of the country. Like I had a lady who brought her niece, and her niece just came from India, and they came and took a class together as a way of bonding. Like I have a lady who came from Indiana. I'm in Chicago, by the way.
Yes, we're in Chicago.
Yeah, people who come from different states, people who want to come and do something with their loved ones. So I would say that it has been the most surprising thing, is that people are really looking for a way to connect to each other. Yeah. And the fact that they would come here, like I feel very honored actually to work with them. And, my goal is so that everybody has a good time and they leave with something finished so they can feel accomplished.
I love that.
Yeah, that's my biggest
really
thing.
Good thing.
I was like, it doesn't even matter so much the time. Like a lot of times we go over, don't tell anybody, but we'll go over time because I want to make sure that they're happy. They leave with something that they're proud to wear and that they'll show people. So to me,
I love that. Is such a good idea.
Yeah, to me, offering these is just really a way of facilitating connection to people, because I think a lot of times you think about jewelry as an object, or like things are objects, but they have a lot more in them. Yeah, because if you're doing this with somebody and you both are like, you have that thing after you made it, you look at it and you remember your sister or your mom or whoever. Aww. So I have all kinds of people who come here to work with me. So.
Okay, this is off script, but I just had this idea. Have you ever had to like put somebody's ashes into a piece of jewelry?
Actually, I had somebody ask me about that just recently. Yeah. So I have not done. There's specific name.
Is that something you're willing to do?
Yeah,
and you're open to?
Yeah, I do.
All right,
that's
a whole nother market. Like, and then the people, when they're coming in to do the classes, they can bring that if they want to do it. That, and then that can make it even more special to work with their loved ones.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, I did have somebody ask me about that, but I know there are people who definitely that's their lane, that they do those. So, but yeah,
I think I've seen ads on Instagram.
Yeah, but
and they're really good at it. Like the people that do it, they're really good, and they get like the dog fur. Yeah, I've seen them get dog fur and put it in there. Yeah, it's a whole thing.
There's so much like.
Jewelry is sentimental.
In jewelry.
Yeah.
Like I feel like you can really go anywhere. So and I do love doing custom. Like right now, most of what I do, even for my clients beyond teaching, is custom. Like custom repair and like, wedding and engagement ring type things. And or like, people who got jewelry that's been handed down.
And they want to restyle it, revamp it.
I love doing
bring it into the 21st century.
I love it when people are like, I want to do something crazy, and I'm like,
ooh,
okay,
yes.
Yeah.
I love that too. Yeah. Like, let's do it. Let's do crazy.
Creative. Yeah.
So cool. So how do you balance your creative flow with the admin or marketing side of your business?
So I would
hold on one second. I'm so paranoid.
Which is good.
Okay, we're still good.
Okay. Yeah, that's a very important question, and I think that
you're a Virgo though, so I feel like it's easier for you than it is for me.
I don't know.
I think I'm gonna have to hire somebody. I'm gonna have to make enough to where I can hire somebody.
It's good to know that you need help. Like even like I need help, and I have to do it because like I'm running my business and I have to do it. Yeah. But I think in this day and age and in this economy, you can't afford, if you're trying to have a successful business that like you can sustain, you can't afford to ignore those things. And I would say starting out when I was an artist, I didn't fully understand how important the admin side of it was.
Because taxes are real.
Yeah, taxes,
you have to know your stuff for
definitely.
tax reasons.
Just knowing numbers, just in general. Are you like pricing your things correctly? Are you doing enough to sustain?
I just let the spirit tell me how much to charge.
Well,
I know that's not good.
You gotta have your
that's
formula.
not, I know.
You gotta work
I
on
literally just go with what the energetically what I feel like it should be worth, but I can't keep doing that.
I used to do that like before because I didn't have really a handle. I would just be like, a number would pop up in my mind and I'd be like, okay, it's that. But then later on I would be like, oh, I actually spent a lot more time on it, or these materials cost a lot more
than I thought.
And I would be so upset at myself. I'm like, man,
literally
like,
kicking myself.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, you're actually like losing money. So I think about it as I want to have a business that will sustain itself long term. So I would like to keep the studio going, for as long as possible, and maybe even get a bigger studio to offer it to more people.
Because you've only been here for 2 years, so the sky is the limit.
Yeah,
this is just one step to the next.
Yeah.
I can't wait to do the next episode at your next studio. At your bigger studio.
I have ideas what that's gonna look like.
Ooh, come on, manifest.
So, but if I don't know the numbers and I don't know, like, paying attention to those, I won't know if I am making the right decisions. So, because I love working, but I also want to hang out with my family. I want to go on vacation, or just be able to afford things, live in America. Things are expensive.
Come on, capitalism.
Right. So you have to make time for it. And so now I actually make time every day. So before I even start making art, or, sometimes I have days where I'm just doing admin, and then other days where I'm making art. Or
I'll do terrible.
Or I'll do or I'll do half the day of admin in the morning while I can focus, and then after that I know I have the rest of the day to just do my own thing. But if I don't do that, then I won't get, I won't be able to have people come in here comfortably also.
Exactly.
Because jewelry making is expensive. Tools are expensive. Materials are expensive.
Insurance is expensive.
Jewelry is an expensive hobby, y'all. If y'all want to get into this, make sure you're really ready for it.
Okay.
It is not for the faint of heart. Yeah. How much is gold right now?
Oh my God, it's probably 2,400, 2,500.
No, it's 33.
It's 33 now?
I looked yesterday.
Oh my, I'm 33 and now gold is 33.
Something like that.
And that's 3,300. Just so y'all know, that's $3,300. Yeah.
Yeah, so you can't play around.
That's crazy.
So, I don't know. I think also with maturity, the more that you do something, you learn every time. Like you said, those moments where you're like, oh, I made a mistake. Then you gotta look at, okay, how can I do better when that same situation comes up next time? What do I need to do to make sure I'm, making good decisions? So,
yeah. So how do you set boundaries to protect your creativity as a business owner?
Contracts.
Come on, contracts.
Contracts and waivers.
Come on. If you chop your finger off, I am not responsible.
Waivers for sure.
Yeah.
And, having good lawyers who will look over your things and make sure
lawyers are so important for business owners, y'all. Business owners and lawyers go together like white on rice. You definitely. Gotta
insurance,
crazy.
Making sure you have your ducks in a row. Even though you don't want to think about worst case scenarios, you have to just to be able to. You don't want to be surprised. Plan. Yeah. So I think those things are very important.
So true. Cool. So what is one piece or collection you're really proud of, and why?
I don't know. So many. I would say.
Tell me about this ring. This is probably not the piece, but I just am curious about this piece.
It is part of this collection. So I had this collection that's very textured. If you look at it, it's all you can kind of rub your fingers over it and kind of feel it. And they're also very weighty. So this, I think, was actually called the Royal Spring Collection, where it was I wanted it to be very regal. So you can feel like I am out to be seen. I have these pieces that make me feel very strong and powerful. Again, very tactile. I can, I like to fidget my hands over things.
Fidget friendly.
Yeah. So I'm I want to touch it. I want it to be layered. It was very extravagant, I would say, was that one. So these are some of the pieces from that particular collection, which I think I'm actually Like I said, in terms of revisiting, like I probably am going to revisit it because there are some pieces in there that are definitely some favorites. But yeah, so this one especially, I love it. It's like, it has those tiers, all around it. It has some detail and texture from the band. There's a lot of space in there.
You work with a lot of peridot. Is peridot your favorite stone?
It's just really the energy that called because like this is an inlay stone. It's actually vintage inlay. So I wanted something that would really bring the piece out.
Malachite, right?
Malachite and
turquoise. Oh, that's turquoise.
Yeah. A little onyx in there.
Yeah,
I think also.
Onyx.
Yeah. So yeah, that one's my favorite. Cool. Like I said, the band, everything. So that was probably one of my favorite ones. But yeah, just always thinking about the next things.
Yeah, super cool. So, have you ever had a wow, I'm really doing this moment?
Yeah, I would say every time I have students who come here.
Yes.
Like, I'm really, I'm really opening up the studio. They're really here. Like, there's really people who are coming here and making things that they've never made something before. They're like being introduced to my work or saying something new. Like, just even you being here, like, you're asking me to come and, do this podcast interview with you in my space. So I think there's always.
Thank you so much.
Aw, of course.
I'm gonna cry. Okay.
There's so many beautiful moments where I think about just how jewelry is so powerful at connecting people. So I'm just grateful that I found something in life that I feel very grateful to be doing, and that most people that I come across are just really happy to participate in it.
I'm really getting emotional because this is just awesome.
Yeah, it's just beautiful to be able to, share your love for something. Like even how we met through like doing an art show here. We met through doing, some art shows, like, and like we developed this beautiful friendship.
Like you were literally just at my wedding.
Yeah.
This is so awesome.
Yep. So that's what I think, art is really about. Like, even in terms of like, obviously, it's nice to have beautiful art or to make beautiful things. But I think like, just like the people you meet along the way, that's the most important thing to me. And that's all I'm going to have when I die. So I'm just like, that's all I'm going to remember. So.
I love it. Oh, that is so awesome. So how have you seen yourself grow as both an artist and an entrepreneur in the last few years?
Very much so. I would say, like, obviously COVID was a big turning point for me, just in terms of everything stopping and being able to actually stop and rethink what I'm doing and deciding, do I want to keep doing it this way or do I want to like change, So I think the biggest thing that I've learned through the journey that I've been on is to always be open to different ideas or doing things in a different way that you wouldn't have thought. And to also to take into consideration some advice that you might get that you might be resistant to initially, and think about why you're resistant to it.
Yes, the why. The why is so important.
Yeah, and then also if you do try it, what do you have to lose? Sometimes there's growth in like just trying something a different way, and just being open to like I wouldn't say not everybody's advice, but like even some people who
you have to have discernment. Yeah, you have to have discernment too.
But just be open. Like even at the studio, like people give me a lot of feedback, and like I always will listen. And if it's something that I will try it out because they're looking at it from a different lens that I am. Like they're coming in as a student. So like I'll give you one example. When I first started offering workshops, like I had maybe like a ring class, and I had like maybe one or two rings. They came and they took the class. They loved the class, and he was like, "Oh, maybe you should try to have more samples, for people to come." And I was like, like I don't really.
Why did I think maybe you should mind your business?
Yeah,
like why did that? Like I'm defensive. Well, I don't know why. I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my shit.
I think usually when somebody's telling you something, you're like, "Well, what do you mean?"
Exactly. What do you mean?
It actually worked out really great because I did make a lot of samples, a lot more, just things. Well, I didn't go crazy because obviously, if you're here, you only have so much time to make something. and you want to make sure that people can finish things,
Yes,
right?
exactly.
So like I did make a few more, but they were, you know, more others in line with what I was doing. And it was nice because people can come and really choose, and we can like kind of make things in the realm of what I have. So it was actually a great piece of advice that I'm glad that I just tried it. You know, so I would say just trying things
Just
out.
try it. So cool. So have you ever thought about quitting, and what pulled you back in?
Oh, I think about quitting every day.
But I'm sure it's like you're a combination of your students and customers.
Yeah, no, I love my customers. I love my students. I would say that, you know, things do get hard. Like anything you're doing, you know, some things are hard. You know, like I don't necessarily like doing all the business or admin kind of things. You know, like that to me is actually a drain and a slog. Oh,
it's okay. These things come up all the time.
So, you know, that part's not fun. So, you know, during tax time, I'm definitely not like excited, you know, but like, you know, there's things I have to do. Even sometimes, like when I was doing a lot of shows, like it was very stressful and I was like, why am I doing this? You know, but, you know, like I would get there, and even after the hard part, you know, there's always something that will just, you know, you have a beautiful interaction with somebody, or like, you know, just something happens to just keep you in there. So I think just always looking at for the positive things, and then also going back to why am I doing this initially. Like I love making art, you know, like I like sharing art. You know, like no matter what, even if I don't have a studio, I'll still be making art somewhere.
That's right. That's right.
So, yeah.
Oh my goodness. So has teaching okay. So what's it like teaching others in the same space where you create?
You know, I think it's more kind of breaking it up. So I have times where I have my students, and then times where I'm really working on client pieces. So I would say,
so having those boundaries and time management, that's
time
a big
management, scheduling, like, you know, for usually the first half of the week, I'm working on like my projects and things for my clients. And then the later half of the week, I'm teaching classes or on the weekend. So just trying to balance out the schedule. Also, if I know I have something coming up that's, you know, a bigger show or something, like, you know, I can have my classes, move my classes around that, which is the nice part of having your own studio. You can make your own schedule. So,
exactly. You don't have to worry about other people. Cool. So, has teaching changed the way that you see your own work?
Definitely. I think I've always been informed with my students. So like I said, I've been teaching for 20 years. So students will always have a way of approaching something that is really different from the way that you do it. Like, you know, the way they might even hold a tool, or, you know, I'll be like, put this bench pin on, and they'll put it upside down, but it still will work the way they did it. You know what I mean? So it's just like, you know,
the fool's journey.
Yeah. Just like, you know, the way that you naturally approach something, or like the way you approach a design, you know, like I learn a lot from my students, probably, you know, just as much as they learn from me, you know, like even a lot of them are in different walks of life. So just even in conversation.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's awesome. So, cool. So in closing, because you have to go to your dance class.
Yes.
I did not know that you were a dancer. Let me tell you, I find out something new about my friend all the time. Like you are just make sure y'all take her class, because she is a well of information. And just, anyways, chef's kiss. So what's next for you? Any big dreams or upcoming launches?
So yes, I'm working on an engagement ring line, so I'm really excited about that.
We love that. We love.
Yeah, working on some other types of art, getting back into my painting and my sculpture. So working on just expanding my metal work into more art pieces, maybe not as wearable, but just, you know, more things you can hang, or, you know, sculptures be about. So those are some exciting things that I have, and then continuing to offer different kinds of classes for my students. So
because you know how to do a lot of different types of art,
definitely,
just jewelry.
Yeah, so just kind of giving myself some space to explore more, and just, you know, just kind of keep on learning. Like I'm also a student and will be forever.
Yes.
So, you know, just continuing to take classes myself from other artists, And yeah, just keep on expanding on art. Like I said, I'm an artist at my heart and soul at the core.
Yeah.
I think it's really important, a way for like telling stories and connecting with
Yeah.
people, and just like, just even just let some energy out or get some energy in. So yeah, that's why I like make art. That's why I dance.
Yeah.
It's a different art form. I find it very challenging. I'm not a professional dancer, y'all, at all. It's just something I enjoy. But those kinds of things, do inform just being out in the world.
Yeah.
It informs all of our work. So yeah.
What does success look like for you, and has that changed over time?
Yes, definitely success has changed for me in terms of what I view success as. I would say it's not something that's an external thing. Like, I think when I was growing up, like, you have to have this and get here and have that accolade or this degree or whatever. And now it is like finding joy and peace in my work. Like, so being able to go to work every day and know that I'm like making a difference in somebody's life, and like I'm putting my skills to good use, doing something positive for the world, that's going to connect people. Like, to me, that is success. Like, I think success is really the strength of my relationships and like the energy and effort I put into them. So like,
oh girl, you about to make me start crying again, because you put so much. I feel so appreciated in our friendship. So to know that I know that I'm not the only person that you make feel that way. So I'm super.
I'm doing my
super
best.
appreciative.
Thank
of
you.
that.
No, I definitely.
You're living what you're teaching and preaching. So I appreciate that.
That's what I'm trying to do. Just try to be a better person every day. I think that's success for me, and just waking up every day and doing my best to be a good person, and like, being positive and being there for people. And like, I think we all have beautiful skills and gifts that we're given in this world. So like, figuring out what that is, and it's this constant journey, and it shifts. Like even you, like doing this now, like
I don't know what I'm doing.
You
y'all.
know what you're doing.
I'm figuring it out one interview at a time.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, you just had it in your heart to do it, and now you're doing it and sharing people's stories, and that's really powerful. Like, you're definitely inspiring a lot of people by what you're doing. So I'm very honored to be a part of your podcast as it's starting to grow, and like, I'm very proud of you.
I love you so much.
Yeah, like this is really beautiful. So this is
my
what
friend.
life is about.
It is literally, quite literally.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, y'all, I think I have cried enough, and Jeneba is ready to go dance her booty off. So on that note, we're gonna wrap up this first episode of About Your Art Studio Edition.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks. Yes. Oh, sorry. Where can people find you? Oh, yes. Plug your stuff.
At Golden Hand Studios on Instagram, TikTok, online. Golden Hand Studios. You can also follow me at Limbagal, Limbagal, on Instagram. So yeah.
And y'all know I'm gonna, plug all this stuff in the description below. Yeah. So this is it, About Your Art Studio Edition.
Yeah, love it. Down the stairs, y'all. What the heck? This is crazy.
I hope I didn't break my ankle. And I spilled my tea.